Okay, welcome back. ElksCentral, September 2nd. Breaking down the Labor Day Classic. Declan, Eddie, and Rick. Declan, Eddie, Rick, and Pat. Sorry, Pat. Almost forgot you there. Didn't mean to exclude you. Oh, thanks, buddy. We're going to be talking about this one. Still winless against Western Division opponents. Kind of a beatdown. Calgary again this Saturday. Before we get into all that, though, before we get into initial thoughts on the game, no Elks 101 this week, so I feel like I'm catching up with my college buddies after like 10 years or something. I haven't seen you guys. How are we doing? How are we feeling? How was the long weekend?
Labor Day weekend.
It was fun. We had the ElksNation golf tournament on, what was it, Friday? Yeah. On Friday. So that was a great way to start the weekend, and it took me probably 2 days to recover. But
Pretty full tournament?
Oh, yeah. Nice. Yeah, it's always a lot of fun out there.
Was it 2 days to recover from like drinking or from?
Yeah, well, there's the heat, there's the drinking, there's the, there's a lot going on out there.
Party,
exactly.
Baby.
Yeah. What'd you get up to, Pat?
Same thing. ElksNation golf tournament on Friday, and then, just more golf the rest of the weekend, pretty much. A couple of fantasy football drafts.
There we go.
I think we have another one here in the office today, so pretty excited about that. I think I screwed up 2 of them, so hopefully I get this one right.
I think it's tomorrow now.
I know they moved it, but I'm still kind of hoping it was today.
Yeah, it was a good weekend, man. Good Labor Day week. Some good ball going on, too. Holy
My good. The games were incrable.
Great game.
Oh.
I'm minus
2 of them.
Yeah, minus the double E.
So we had 2 Labor Day classics, true classics.
Some classics.
The commentators in this one, the play, but he tried to sell it as a classic after the punt return touchdown, and it was like, nah, like this isn't Saskatchewan, Winnipeg, or Toronto, Hamilton. Okay, I mean, like initial thoughts on this one. Where do you guys come out? Because my thing is, I thought in the first half the Elks didn't play that well. They seemed step for step with Calgary, but they were the worst team, if that makes sense. But they seemed relatively there. 2 big shots at the end of the first half that I thought were unnecessary. And then the punt return touchdown kind of blows it wide open. Calgary never lets off the gas. Going back and looking at some of the final numbers, like it doesn't lead me to think Edmonton was as close as I maybe thought they were. But watching the game, that first half especially, defensively thought they were playing well. Keeping Calgary out of the end zone. Score was low. Seemed like a game that was winnable. And then obviously just kind of gets away from them.
It was a winnable game. That's the thing. Going into half, right before half, that's my TSN turning point. They had a chance. Calgary was up 10-3, and Edmonton missed a chip shot field goal. Mm-hmm. In that, they got the point out of it, man. So it's 10-4. It should have been 10-6 going into half, and that's as close as it could be. That's a game. Your defense is balling just like Calgary's defense is balling in the first half. Where you can't let them off the hook is let them get that penalty, drive half of the field to get into their own field goal range, kick a field goal going into half, give it back. Now it's 13-4, and they're up that full touchdown again. That's the killer right there. And that was, for me, the turning point, because in a game against a team that's that well coached and that is that well run of an organization, they're not going to make those mistakes that kill them.
Yep.
And the fact is, you saw how they capitalized on just a missed field goal with 20 seconds left. And that was the killer for me. Backbreaking, because going in at 10-6 is a lot different than going down a full touchdown.
I think that's kind of why they did those 2 long bombs, though. Because first of all, they knew they got the ball back in the second half. So if you can get that touchdown, that's huge. Mm-hmm. Plus, you need to take that extra chance against this team because they are the better team. And when you have an opportunity to swing like that, you have to take that swing. If you want to win this game, you need to connect on those. And then in the back of his head, he might know the fact that, hey, our kicker's a little iffy sometimes. Mm-hmm. And I'd rather not put this on his foot. I'd rather leave it in Fajardo's hands.
I like the long balls, especially on first down. I'm cool with that because you can live to see another down if you don't complete it. But that second one, my
thing, even with the first one, like there's 30 seconds on the clock from Calgary's 25. Like that's a lot of time left to make something happen. Like you don't have to have those chunks. Like the first one I can understand. Like you said, take a shot. You still have second down there to go make something happen. The second one, obviously way worse, but both back to back, it was pretty much the same. I think it was the same route. It was pretty much the same ball. The only difference was the second time he added a pump fake that looked like he was a 5th grader playing jackpot.
Wasn't even really catchable, man.
No, and he threw into triple coverage.
Yeah.
Off shoulder. Yeah, like it was and that to me, like I can't, like those 2 plays back to back felt like, obviously Calgary comes down and gets the field goal like you mentioned, but those 2 plays, like it just felt, I was like, this isn't the end of the game. We don't need a touchdown or the game's over. Like you have 30 seconds. You throw something short, throw something underneath, get a first down, get a little bit close. Like you're on the 25. You know what I mean? Like you're in range already. It's a scoring threat already.
In overall,
all you need to do is move the ball.
And he had done a good job of that throughout the game. He was moving the ball pretty good. Hey,
yeah,
it was unnecessary shots. I agree, but I do see your point there. Like the strategy behind it, you're trying to match, but
you can still do it. Like I mean, however much time was left, that's lots of time in the CFL. We watched in the game before that.
That's an eternity.
In the last 3 minutes, it was incredible. In the game before that, exactly right.
32 seconds. Yeah,
take your 6 yards, take whatever it is. Run around for a bit and scramble. He was great at making his own yards that first half.
Like that one and the second one. I mean, that one, the first one, okay, but the second one, you really got to blame the play calling there. I think because you went back to the same play that just didn't work,
or he just
telegraphed it the whole.
I think Cody might have just got selfish on that.
I agree. Well, Cody, I didn't think he had great touch this game. No. Like I thought his touch looked really off. His timing looked really off.
Noticed it early.
Yeah. And maybe this, like to your point, maybe this was one of the plays where he was trying to force it and trying to, be the hero and try and get back in his rhythm. Like, I don't know. Because that first pass, bad ball, like wasn't, catchable really. But the second one was just... like it was, you were trying to be the hero.
Yeah, exactly.
When you're playing Madden against your dad, and you're trying to score against
Chuck and pray.
Like, yeah, 100%.
Chuck and pray, man.
I didn't get it. I thought that like I can't call that the turning point. There was obviously so much game left to be played, but then you couple that with the missed field goal.
It's the beginning of the turning point, really, if you think about it.
Yeah, I mean, really. So like, let's say, and it's tough to do this because there was never really a touchdown threat there. But let's say you take 7 points off the board, then you take 3 points off the board. And then Calgary goes down and gets another 3. Like that's a fair swing.
At the very worst, he should have been up 3. Instead, you were down 1.
Yeah,
right. Like
it should have
1 point instead of the 3, and then you gave up 2 the other way. It's 3 the other way.
Exactly.
You ended up at negative points when you really shouldn't have.
Exactly. With like
it should have been
time
10
left in the half.
Should have been 10-6 going into halftime.
Going back to that second throw too, that was to Curley, correct, fellas?
I think so.
And part of the reason why I think Cody just got selfish is if that was play calling, don't you think that they would throw it up to Victor, who's like 6'6", 6'7"?
That's fair.
Go get the big guy.
Yeah,
that's fair.
If you're gonna chuck one up, put it to the big jump ball guy.
Yeah.
So I think Cody just forced that one.
His whole my biggest takeaways from this one, just in regard to Cody, was. Like I said, like every pass I seemed to see him make, and he wasn't incredibly, actually he was pretty inefficient. 21 of 33 is not very good. No. And I was writing an article for ElksNation with like 5 minutes left and he had 145 yards. And I was going to go with that as, like one of my bullet points. He finished with 255, but really that did not feel like the game of a guy who had 255 passing yards. Like it felt like it was the game of a guy who had 145, and just passes he constantly makes and consistently makes. He was missing, and he was throwing short, and he was throwing high, and he was just putting the ball in bad. He didn't have that hilarious interception that he's kind of, we've kind of come to know, but it was a really weird one. And the other thing was he looked defeated in this game. Like watching Cody, especially in that fourth quarter.
I know why. Man, and this is part of the reason he was so inaccurate as well. Man, you see this guy running around for his life?
Yeah. The offensive line got beat up again.
Calgary's D-line feasted. They only had 4 sacks statistically registered, but they feasted on Cody in this offensive line. He's getting hit all day.
Yeah, the best part of his game was running away.
Yeah.
And that's not good. That's not what you want out of him.
It's not what you want out of him. And then you get to thinking, could Trey Ford have ran better out of these late in the game?
Well, it's funny you say that. Someone tweeted at me and I forget who it was, and I got Steve Jobs' first computer here, so no chance I'm going to be able to pull it up in time. But they tweeted at me that, they like the fact that Cody's in because the O-line is so terrible that Cody brings a sense of calmness and pocket presence that you probably want from your quarterback with a bad O-line. But he also made the point, and it's to your point, that the mobility of Trey Ford on the other side of the coin with this offensive line, like there is something to be said for that. Now, here's the thing, like Trey Ford, if he's happy feeding it back there, I probably don't trust him to make the throws on the run. But Cody wasn't making the throws on the run either today. No. You know what I mean? So there is something to be said for...
if Trey can run around a bit, it leaves it up to the receivers to find an opportunity to get open and catch a ball, right? And you never at this point, at one point yesterday, I would have done it.
For sure, me too, man. Because you got to look at how the game is going and the flow. And they did this early in the year when Trey was perfect, 9 of 9 in a game, and they put Cody in. So why would you not?
Hilarious, by the way. Like
what are we doing here?
Yeah.
Why would you not try that though? And just in the fourth quarter when nothing is happening offensively, just try and throw Trey in there.
Especially like that game. I don't know about you. But for me, that game felt over after the punt return touchdown. And that only made it 20-7.
Yeah.
But it felt over.
Oh, yeah.
And in the fourth quarter, you could tell it was really over. Like, why not just try? Like, how many times did they bring in Cody this in the Montreal game or the Winnipeg game? And the Montreal game to try and just create a spark and get something going. And they rallied in that Montreal game. Or was it the Winnipeg game? Yeah, whatever.
Well, they did it twice. They did it one time when Trey was perfect, one time when Trey struggled.
But yeah, give him a look and bring him in. And it's crazy how we have immediately gone to we're back to Trey Ford.
No, more so just when you're running for your life, you know? And what's really crazy to think about, fellas, Calgary's defense statistically, they pitched a shutout.
Yep.
You know, they didn't let in any touchdowns.
No touchdowns.
A couple of field goals and a rouge.
And a rouge, yep.
So like Calgary's defense, we got to tip our hat to them because that's like really hard to do in the CFL.
Oh yeah.
Really hard.
You're not going to win a game in the CFL when you score 7 points and no touchdowns, like ever. I don't care who you are, I don't care how good, like that's not going to happen. But the defense again, later in the game, like I thought they played well in the first half, but I thought in the second half, they really started to miss tackles. I thought they really started to play a little bit sloppier. Another game, no sacks, no takeaways. They didn't even have a tackle for a loss in this one. And again, like I'm not crushing the defense when the offense scored 7 points. You're not going to win. And you know what? You held Calgary to what?
Defense played well.
Yeah, they did play well.
Played well.
There's just still so much to be desired defensively. And when the game felt out of hand, that's when it felt the sloppiest. Here's a fun stat. Noah Taylor and Cordell Jackson, who have 5 sacks combined this year for the Elks, they have as many as the rest of the Elks combined. Imagine if I told you that coming out of Labor Day, the 2 leading sack guys would be Noah Taylor and Cordell Jackson, and they would have as many as everyone else combined. That's a pretty crazy stat.
Yeah, I mean, there are a couple injuries that kind of sprinkle into those stats, but at the same time, I think if you just watch the games, we can't make a stat, right? If it's maybe a tackle, picks, we're not getting them, sacks, we're not getting them. Like
turnovers.
It doesn't really, it's tough to explain, but they just can't.
They're not
done.
They're not.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I think the defense just got tired in the second half, right?
For sure.
Like they were out there. They were doing everything they could.
There is something to be said also, like when you know the game's over,
mentally.
You check out a little bit. You're thinking about next week.
But you were down Ceresna, you're down Smith, you're down Nick Anderson. I don't remember when Niles went down. Like you're running out of players and you're running out of strength at that point.
And honestly, like I'm really happy with the defensive play. Take away the punt return, and then Calgary scored one from the 1 yard line. So it's not like the defense is out. That's 14 points of the 28. Yep. The defense isn't out here getting burned. 17 on the ground, 17 carries for 106 for Dedrick Mills.
That was the biggest one.
That was the big one. He kind of got after whatever he wanted throughout the game. But the defense, man, held Vernon Adams to 13 of 23, 162. Yep. Like what more do you want from your defense? You held them to 10 points at half.
You did everything I could.
The defense played about as good as you could play in this type of atmosphere in this game.
Yeah, like I wasn't trying to dog the defense. Because they were clearly.
No, I feel you. I'm just saying. I'm trying to dog the offense.
And they deserve to be. Like again, there's just. I mean, you look at the numbers here. Like your leading rusher in Justin Rankin, and it was Cody for the majority of the game. And I love Rankin. He doesn't get a lot of help from the offensive line. But if we're just breaking it down to this, your leading rusher averaged under 4 yards a carry and only had 48 yards. You had one receiver in this one over 50 yards. He had Arkell Smith finished with 81, and it took him 7 catches and 8 targets to get there, and 53 yak yards. Like there was just nothing. And Calgary's defense is great and stout and incredible, and they deserve a lot of credit. But like, how long do you think Coach Killam has had this one circled on the calendar? Like, how long
Since
do
he
you
got the
think?
job.
Since the day he got hired, yeah.
How long exactly? How long do you think he has been, game planning for Calgary? How long? And I know he's a special teams guy. It's not like he comes over as an OC, but how long do you think that this one has been at the forefront of his mind? And you got to assume it's all season since he got the job, and to come out and have this offensive performance, that's what's troubling.
That has to be frustrating, man. Like, you expect I asked you there last week, what do you think the guys are going to be like? And you'd be like, the guys are going to be up for it. They're going to be ready to roll. You saw it out of the defense.
Mm-hmm.
You did not get that out of your offensive line. And I think at the end of the day, you lost the battle in the trenches, and that's where it was.
Mm-hmm. Coach Kill, he said something. He's always pretty brief in his post-game avails. But he did say something. I think Tommy Gazzola asked him about those two passes at the end of the first half, and I could be misremembering, but I think he made reference to Jordan's play calling, and I think he said something about like, yeah, we can't be doing that there. So I don't want to misquote it. Anyone can go back and watch the post-game avail on YouTube, on the Elks YouTube, and find out exactly what it was. I don't want to misquote him. I might be misremembering, but I thought it was something like that. And the reason I bring that up is because there were points in this game, I felt like some of the play calling was iffy. And how for this game, for this Labor Day Classic, are the head coach and the OC not on the same page when it comes to play calling? Like, wouldn't that kind of be the one game you really hunker down and you're really on the same page for?
I was in disagreements with some of the play calling for sure. Just so vanilla. I'm taking back Jordan Maximic. He was the OC for a dynamic BC offense last year. And I know Nathan Rourke's a different quarterback over there, but their play calling was so creative, and it was an open aerial attack. And you're just not seeing any of that. And I get you got to play, call the plays to your personnel, but you have a responsibility as a coach too, to get some creativity and to put your guys in positions to succeed. There was one play call yesterday where it was like a fly sweep almost. So Cody faked the handoff. He had someone coming across really fast across the formation, and there was two guys covering it for the Stamps. One guy had it outside leverage, and the other guy was in trail position. Cody threw it, and it was for like a 2-yard loss. And it's like, that's where it was so obvious, telegraphed into double coverage. Coach, there's got to be more than that in the bag.
They got like a veteran quarterback at that point can't be the one throwing that, right? Like, if it's a rookie quarterback going, okay, he kind of forces his way into it. A veteran has to go, can't do that. But got to figure something else out.
That's always the primary read, though, is like on those types of plays, like you're expecting to get the guy in the flat. And you're right, Cody does have to see that and move on. But it's like Maximic, like, that's so basic and vanilla. Let's just spice it up a little bit more.
Yeah, 100%. Talk about this one. So on when Grahovac was in as the tight end, like they put him in those packages where he shifts in motion and comes across. It's that one. We ran that in high school actually, and I remember like in practice, it's the easiest play to read because the tight end who lines up off the line, who's generally, he always comes across in motion. Like, you always know exactly what the play is going to be. And so it was just always a really easy one to read. But that being said, not knowing the count there, so brutal. Like, you got to know the count. And Edmonton, they got it right back, right? Like, Calgary fumbled it right back and they got it back.
No, they got the ball back. Calgary fumbled but got the ball back.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what it was. Not a football guy. Don't know. But that one is so, because they were driving well. It was sustained.
That was a killer.
And then they were right there to put points on the board. And then
it just moving the ball.
Yeah. And I think the snap just went off like Grahovac's knees or something and bounced around. Like,
that was a killer.
Yeah, it was. I tweeted in all caps, know the count, everyone. Like that, especially, like, I know he's playing tight end in that set. But to not know the count is,
you got a little anxious, want to get to a spot, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's
like you're trying to, because you're not like Phil. In his case, he's not the most athletic guy, so he's trying to time it so he gets there right. But
you don't want to be the one who messes up that play.
No,
especially when,
not
like,
to mess up that play, you mess up something else.
Especially when you're so like vital to the blocking scheme in that play. But that is such a killer.
That's a killer.
Such a killer.
And that's just so deflating.
Yep.
You're moving the ball. Nice drive. Down, getting into the red zone, and boom.
Mm-hmm.
Done. Turnover.
Overall, not overall, but I mean, like, was there anything you guys saw that was outwardly positive that you look at and you know what? You're like, okay, despite losing 28-7, not scoring a touchdown.
Outside of the defensive play, like the defense played their ass off. They really did, except for, we'll say, late in the game. And even though Mills went for 106 rushing, like the defense played their ass off. I really saw the effort, and the try factor was there for sure.
I feel, where do you come out on the defense, Rick? Because I think the defense was the bright spot of this game, but I still feel like I don't want to give them as many flowers as you are right now. And I think a lot of, like, they were there in the first half, but I feel like in the second, they really, like, I feel like I saw a lot of missed tackles, and I feel like there wasn't a lot of penetration from that defensive line. I feel like Dedrick Mills, because he had 68 at the end of the first half, finished with 106. So we had more in the first half. But in the second half, it felt like he was running so much smoother. Yeah. Like, I don't know. You can't kill the defense for this one. This game was not on the defense. I'm not saying that. But I feel like I didn't think they played 2000 Ravens lights out defense. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
No, but I don't think you're also going to see that. Like, I mean, obviously that team right there was one of the best ever. So I get what you're saying, but
yeah, it's a high bar. Don't get me wrong.
Go make a tackle for a loss. Go get a sack. Go get a pick. Get a better knockdown. Do something out there. They were good enough. And then that punt return, I think, really, really killed it. And that point too, the game changes all of a sudden, right? Calgary has changed their play calling a little bit. Got to be a little more conservative, kind of go up the middle, you know. We ran out of steam, and then the injuries too, right? Serezin's down with his knee, and I think he's going to be dealing with that all year. Hopefully he's back this week. I don't know where Niles Morgan's at. You know, Nick Anderson's out. Smith is out. Like, you're running out of players in the front four, the front eight there, that are supposed to be leading your team. So it kind of hurts. But if you want to find one positive, it's weird, but the short yardage. We've had an issue with it all year where they can't get that half yard, that whatever. Good and point. I think 5 or 6 times we went out there a yard and a half, push. Even 2, and they got every single one of them, not even really close. So there is a little bit of positivity on the offensive side there.
That's a good point. Yeah, Cole Snyder had 4 carries for 5 yards. But it's like exactly what he needs.
He likes it, man. You can tell he gets juiced up. He's fired. There was one first down he got. It was a longer one, almost 2 yards. He got up. Whoa!
And that's what you want, though, right? Like, you're 3rd and 1. That's a go for it in the CFL. And then you see us having to kick it. You're like, why the hell do we have to? Everyone else gets to go for it. And when you go for it, you get it. How many times are we in defensive 3rd and 1? And it's like, oh, well, they're going to get this here anyways. There's the 1 1/4. It was nice to go out there and finally do it for us.
It's funny because I've been at like a few, Elks practices where I'll tweet, just for the record, Cole Snyder taking the short yardage reps. And I'll get people tweeting back and be like, what the fuck? Are you serious? I'm not trying to dog them. I did like a pretty insulting.
That's kind of what they're there for, though.
But my point being, I wonder if Cole, and like as the 3rd string quarterback who's only you used in short yardage situations, like I don't think you're paying too much attention. But like that's your time to get in the game.
It's important.
Like it's important. For him, it sustains drives. Yeah,
so 4 times that he was successful.
To go out
there. It's no different than a holder or a long snapper. Mm-hmm. Their job is minimal.
No one gives a fuck unless you fuck up.
Exactly. Yeah. It's minimal and it's important and only noticeable when they mess up. Like you're only noticing the 3rd string if he's not getting that.
You know how many times we talk about Cole Snyder? This is the 3rd time all year. But like to your point, like he's getting it done on 3rd. Yeah. Like again, we will never. Who do you guys even know who holds the kicks on the field goals?
The punter.
Probably.
It's great. It's Julian now. Grace before. Yeah. Okay. Grace. Football podcast. We should know that. But my point being, no one knows about that, right? But the minute that snap isn't held properly, the minute the laces are in, all of a sudden we're talking about it. On him now. Know what I mean? So, we I don't know what that stutter was. All right, what else do we have from this one? Oh, like looking at because we're not going to run a Elks 101 before the game, are we? Because the game's on Saturday. So it'll be another. Hey, it's my high school reunion actually on Saturday.
10 years?
10 years. Isn't that crazy? I'm going to miss it obviously for the game. But I guess that's just something in my life. just bringing that up, I guess. I don't know.
Shout out. What high school?
AOB,
Austin O'Brien.
Shout out the Crusaders. That was crazy by me. That was guy at the bar who's like, hey, I did something in my life. I don't even know what the fuck I'm saying at this point anymore. But my point was, I don't think we're going to run in Elks 101 before the episode. But Pat, delete all that, actually.
Rewind.
Bleep that out. Actually, don't even delete it. Just bleep out like that minute and a half stretch of us talking. People tuning in being like, what the fuck? But we're going back. We're playing Calgary again on Saturday. Feels like, listen, Calgary was far and away the better team, obviously, reflected in the final score. They were better on special teams. Offensively, the Elks actually had better numbers, but I feel like Calgary was the better team offensively, even though VA didn't play very well.
VA's nice at throwing off script. Even his numbers weren't great, but that's the biggest difference I thought with him and Cody is when VA would get, rushed, get off the spot, the pocket got collapsed. He would scramble around and really hit his targets accurately.
Yeah.
Whereas Cody, obviously, as we talked about, was not accurate.
Actually, before we get to the Calgary game, I want to ask you guys this because I was thinking about this. How many touches do you guys want Justin Rankin to have a game?
Touches, running, and
15-ish at the least.
I wanted like 20 minimum.
Yeah.
Like I want, because this one he had 18, and I felt like he was. I mean, it's not always reflecting the numbers, but I still feel like he's the best, like the most important part of the offense. Like when he's going for me,
he is. If you can start getting the ball, then the linebackers are on their toes, and even the secondary is on their toes, going. We need to come downfield to get this guy, and you get that happening. Then you start throwing over top of these guys. Yeah, and that's what a veteran quarterback should be able to do.
It totally opens up everything.
Yeah. So the game this Saturday, it doesn't feel. Like it doesn't feel like Calgary is some unbeatable monster. Like the game very much feels there to be won. New game, new week. But if you lose this one and all of a sudden you're 4-8, like we're kind of back. We're kind of feeling the same way when we were, 2-6.
It's murder she wrote.
Yeah.
You lose this one, it's toast. Season's done in terms of playoffs.
Well, the game before them was going to determine it. If BC loses, then you're still in the same spot. If BC wins, then all of a sudden you really need to win.
But it's still such a high, like BC, even if they lose at 5-7, you're 4-8. BC's beat you twice. Like the East is so.
If BC loses and Winnipeg loses, and we are able to win, like
Winnipeg's losing, so let's start there.
Well, that just leaves another team. That leaves another team like within striking distance. That really just feeds your team in order to keep. Okay, there is still something to fucking play for, guys.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's a nice get back game though, man. Mm-hmm. Like these short weeks I've played in a lot and it's very similar. You get whooped down in Calgary, but then when you come back up here and you play like 4 or 5 days later, you're hungry. Yeah. I don't know. It's hard to explain. But you just have a desire to win. If these guys are the competitors that...
Do you look at your veterans here to take a step up? Like obviously your quarterback didn't have a great game. Do you look at him and go, listen, you have to step up here and therefore maybe throw in a couple extra plays that it's like, hey, we need you to make this play. I know it's not the easiest play, but we need you to make this play.
It's mandatory. It's mandatory that these guys step up and they need to prove it. And it's really interesting because Calgary, they don't need to play perfect. Edmonton, against every team they play, they got to play damn near a perfect game. You can't have those lapses like the end of the first half where you have a chance to be down 4 points and all of a sudden you're down, 7, 8 points. You can't do that. You have to finish strong, play perfect and crisp football. And I think that, coming up here in Edmonton, I think the team will be up for the task because it's always, I don't know how to explain it. It's just different. It's a different mojo when you're in front of your home crowd and you're just trying to get that taste out of your mouth.
What's the short week in practice like?
Light, chill.
Yours was even shorter though, wasn't it?
Yeah, because you were on Fridays.
You were the Friday.
We did some Fridays.
That's too soon.
Yeah, it was light, man. It's all film work. It's all meeting and prep work in the meeting rooms.
Were you playing back when they did the 3 games in 10 days?
I've played in a couple of those.
Right, because I think at the end of the COVID time or whatever the hell it was, I think we had three games in 10 days.
I didn't play I didn't play on that team, but I've had definitely like Sunday into Thursday into the following Thursday or Friday type deal.
When you look at the rest of the schedule, so obviously Calgary this weekend, then you go to Toronto, then you go to Hamilton. Those feel like 2 pretty winnable games. But you got Saskatchewan, Winnipeg, BC, Calgary is the last 4 games. Three of those games are at home, which is huge. Winnipeg at home off a bye. But that feels like a pretty tough way to end the season. Like it starts here, man. Like if you lose this one and you're 4-8, even if you get those two back on the road in Toronto and Hamilton, which I guess two very winnable games, then you're 6-8. You like what do we have to go in the last 4 games? 3-1. Finish
that last game, you have to assume the Stampeders are probably going to be resting some guys. No,
they might be playing for first in the West.
Yeah, they'll be competing with Sask.
Yeah, they might be playing for first in the West there. Like they might have something to play for.
Trying to get
So
that
I
buy.
don't know. Yeah, exactly. Trying to get that by.
If you can take care of business as we're taking a peek at the sked here. By the way, man, Patty P, you're a beast. I'm watching you.
Dude, he's actually
copy
the best,
and
man.
paste
Firing
as
away,
we're talking.
right?
It's crazy, man. Buddy, I can't even like save a file properly.
Dude, I like ask him a question and he like gets mad at me because I'm like interrupting his work.
But if you can get after Calgary this upcoming game here, man, you got the Argos and Ticats, 2 favorable matchups again. So like the door is open, but again, if you lose, I think the door is closed on everything.
Where are we sitting with Niles Morgan? Was he like, I know we obviously were hours since the game's been over, but we have a couple big injuries where we'd like to have some guys back. You know, this is a massive game for us coming up. Is Jake on the field? Is Niles out there? Nick
Jake
Anderson was practicing last week.
And as much as Joel's been playing well, I'm seeing him get kind of pushed around in there.
Yeah, he's just over his head right now as a young guy.
A little bit. He
Yeah.
is a little bit.
Yep.
A little bit. And Dex said missed tackles.
Yeah.
He's flying around like
He
the
wants
heart is
to.
in it.
Yeah, he's got to
But
slow
it
down
is
a
a
bit.
little, he does look a little, I don't want to say out of his depth, but like maybe a touch.
Yeah,
You know what I
just
mean?
a young
Like,
guy.
it's just, yeah.
Just a bit.
Also, like it's so funny, Nick, and like it just feels so vague. It's like, yeah, he's not playing.
He was practicing this week.
Yeah. Do you guys have an offensive and defensive player of the game?
I think if you look at the offense, it's probably Curly. Right? I mean, you don't have a lot of real options there to pick. Rankin was what you kind of want out of him, but you need maybe a little bit more. But let's get some offensive line help for him. I think, and Curly didn't see a lot of the ball, but when he did, he did something with it. I think it's pretty tough to find somebody on the offense, though.
Yeah, it is. How about you? You got anyone on the D?
Oh, and the defense, it's, you know what? I think this is one of those ones where it's a bit of a cop-out, but you kind of give it to the whole unit, because I think as a team, you need to go out there and win as a team, and no one's out there making sacks or picks or anything like that, so you're not really getting somebody jumping up the sheet. But like we said, up until probably the end of the first half, which missed field goal wasn't on them. And then you go to the punt, which I suppose there's a couple defensive players out there probably, but you can't really put that on the defense of the whole. But if you were to fix those 2 plays and maybe get us a touchdown or even just a field goal and then not have that return for a touchdown, the game is much, much different.
Yeah. Go ahead, Deck.
No, I was just going to say, I'd probably give it to, you guys know I'm a really big Justin Rankin guy, so I'd probably give it to Rank, 96 yards on 18 touches. And that's with, a couple getting blown up in the backfield there that he just really, like, there's no help for him on those ones. Defensively, I mean, not to be too chalk, but I'll give it to the guy who led the team in tackles. I'll give it to Royce Mechie. And I like his game as a safety. He's aggressive. He plays hard. The position comes naturally to him, which I can appreciate. So I'll say Royce.
Yeah, in a game like this, like no big plays,
I know, like
nothing popped. You know what I mean? Offensively, nothing popped. I'd go Curly too, just because he was the most engaged, and you could tell that he was hungry for that football, although he only had 3. But I would say it was his best game in terms of, just the body language.
Yeah, I agree.
Little things that we want to see out of Curly. Defensively, as a unit, they played well. But again,
no one stuck out.
No one popped. No one popped. So I'd probably go Royce as well. 7 tackles. He was noticeable in the run game. I saw him coming downhill, filling some gaps. And I always love that. You guys know when I talk about and see a DB coming to hit, boy, you rise up in my books.
Sorry, Pat, actually, do you want to go?
I'm more or less just curious, like, because if we look at the Calgary defense here, we've got 4 sacks, and then another game where we've got 0. I'm curious, like, who do we look to for that? Like, how do we who's in charge of improving that part of our game? You know what I mean? Is that on the defense? Is that on the coaches? Like, where do you start with that?
Eddie, man, you like no one literally on planet Earth can answer this question better than you. So
yeah, it's as a collective, I think JC has done a much better job. You know, considering the first 6 weeks where they were letting up 34.5 points a game. We talked about how far guys were aligning up off of the ball. Guys' desire wasn't there to get their hats on and make hits and tackles. So JC has rounded up his calling and how he's led the defense as a coach. But coach is only coach.
Yeah.
You know, players got to play.
They're the ones on the field.
They're the ones out there. And they're the ones who have to get the job done. You can't scheme how to get interceptions. Yeah, okay, you can scheme how to confuse a quarterback, but you can't scheme how to go out and make plays. You can't scheme how to go out and whoop an O-lineman's ass and get a sack. You know, that's all from the player himself out there with his technique and how hard they go. And that's all on the players. You know, coaches can only lead you to water. You got to drink that water.
Yep. Do you guys have a hot seat for this one coming up?
Jordan Maximic. I would like to see a better game plan out of him. The offense has been okay all year. It hasn't been great. You haven't had these big breakout games. And I'm going to continue to pound the drum of I want to see Leak and Rankin in the backfield or at least on the field. I know you got to save Leak because he's a returner as well. But there is so much dynamic play calling you can have with both of them. You were talking about motioning one out and doing the play with your tight end and all that. Man, if you even just motion one out and send Leak on a go against a linebacker, just a straight go. If they're in man coverage,
I know who I'm betting on.
Just run wheel routes.
Yeah, man, if they're in man coverage, you're going to outrun them. And if they are in man coverage and he's covered well, then you got Rankin who's going to be running a nice little route somewhere too. So there's just options, fellas.
I think you look at the offensive line again. Like you're not getting any running back movement out there. Cody was running around for his life. There has to be a way to help, right? Like I don't know exactly what it is, but find a way to help that right side of the line. It's going to pay off in the long run. You need it. Like your quarterback can't do anything. Your running backs can't do anything. That's a massive issue right now.
Keeping it real too. Yeah. Your OC can't do anything either when they'll
100%. Yeah. So, I mean, if you're the OC and you keep calling plays and that part of the, I have to do something now to help you guys out, whether it be one of your have both running backs in the backfield and then one of them has to chip.
Yeah. That O-line, that's a personnel issue. Like they're on my hot. We didn't really talk that much about how bad they were.
No, they're stinky.
They were tough. And Coach Killen was asked about it after the game and he just said, yeah, those guys need to play better. I was like, oh. Yeah, they do.
They stunk.
Yeah. So they're on my hot seat. And really, like, you could kind of throw them on the hot seat every game. Like they have flashes.
They are till the end of the year.
They have flashes. They
put themselves in this position.
And they'll open up holes and they'll take care of their gaps every now and then. But overall, like
worst O-line in the league.
They're having probably some of the biggest issues. Like, I mean, there might be some other ones
Ottawa
out there,
springs to mind, but I mean, it's tough.
They're in the conversation, which isn't good.
Yeah. So they're my hot seat of the week. Pat, do you have one?
I mean, not really. Like I kind of mentioned, it would just be nice to see the defense turn over the ball a little bit more. Like I know they played well defensively, but to actually make a play to be a game changer just would be, I don't know, like the sacks, interceptions. It just continues to be a problem for me.
I feel that. Also, just again, a hilarious Pat moment. I was like, dude, do you have one? No.
But kind of.
But then bust down one of the most valid ones.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, shit. You guys have anything else you want to add? Listen, it wasn't a great game. Not a lot.
But the thing is, we get to run it back, baby.
Yeah.
Quick rematch, quick turnaround. Get that taste out of your mouth. Look, I've been a part of getting my ass whooped a lot down in Calgary on Labor Day. And on the reverse, whooped a lot of ass coming up here back to Edmonton. You can't be scared of the competition and you have to go out there with a hunger. Like that's the only way you can win these types of games because talent level, you're here, right? Okay. Maybe Calgary.
Yeah, maybe a little like that.
But hunger level, that's where that trumps everything.
Yeah. That's when you make those tackles.
You got to play with like a desperation like it's playoffs. So this is a desperate game these guys need to play with, and we need to see that.
Yeah. This might be like we kind of thrown out the tag a little bit, but this might be the first true must win of the season. Like it feels like if you lose this one, it's
the mountain's really big.
That mountain's real big. That mountain's real big. So I hear you. It comes from right here. Got to play with all of that. All right. Well, I mean, like any final thoughts, anything we missed, anything we didn't bring up from any of you guys?
I think we got it all.
I got you. I got some
all
for
right.
sure. Yeah. That we didn't bring up. We talked about the missed kick going into half, right? And how critical that was. Shout out to Coach Killam. And this is a guy who we've heard is a player's coach. Guys want to rally for him. He rolled out there. He's flushed that his kicker missed that kick. And in the third quarter, sent him out there for a 52-yarder. I think it was his career long, if not up there. He's only hit 3 over 50 all year. And the kid nailed it. Yep. So like just to show that trust in your players, that's confidence, man. That's confidence building. And that's a good coaching move because that's a far field goal. Yep. And he already missed a chip shot. Killam could have easily second guessed that, punted it, kick him deep, keep the offense out there, whatever. There's options. But he rolled his kid out there and the kid came through.
Yeah, that's a great point. That's huge. Those are like you said, those are the coaches you want to play for when they got trust in their guys like that. It's moments like things. It's moments like those. That's huge. Okay. Well, yeah, I don't have anything else. I think we're all set here. Be back on where we're going to be back Sunday. Break down this one. Then Elks would have won Monday. Yeah. I mean, hoping for a win. Rick, any final thoughts?
No, let's just get back on the field. There's still one more game to go here.
Yep.
If we could get a split out of it, I think you're happy with it. So
go get the get back. Okay. Well, I guess if we have nothing else left, then we'll sign off. Thank you for joining us. This has been Elk Central. Talk to you next Sunday.